Emmy Colons. 17, Eli Monica. 20, Sam Greenwood. 22, Sarah Edwards. 23, Jimmy Zerot. 24, Jonathan Nethercutt. 25, Lane Cedar. 26, Lisa Piccately. 27, Eli Kearns.
No, we're good, we're good.
28, Claire Riviere.
Don't let anyone in and out of there without letting me know.
31,
This is the dangerous stuff here.
36, Tim Burgess. 42, Mike Ogren. 44, Sarah Beckstrom. 49, Robot. 56, Leah Barrett and your coaching staff. Martin Aguilera. Alex Snyder. And Nancy Sun. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Team USA Mixed Squad.
Get the hands up and live. I'll do the introduction. I'll just say what's happening, whether and they'll go to you
Now
first.
from Australia, number 1, Alex Shepherd.
Anytime you want to there's a zone you can talk to.
Number 2, Hayley Lambert. 4 is Patrick Keating. Number 5, Shani Webb. 7, Eshan Wickerman. Number 8, Rachel Parsons. Number 9, Kirsty Lucas. Number 10, Andrew Jennings. Number 11, Maddie Smith. Number 13, Kath O'Neill. Number 14, Will Norton. Number 16, Drew Weisner. Number 18, Callum Howard. Number 19, Dom Simpson. 21 is Mary Toney. 24, Stephen Burcott. 26, Adrian Lim. Number 32, Lachlan Murphy. 33, Liam Grimmond. 34, Timocles Copland. 42, Rebecca Gannon. 47, Tom Emerson. And your coaching staff for Australia, Anson Chun, Max Howden, Elsa Enting Hall, Nick Gibson, and UNR. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to Team Australia. We present the finalists in the mixed division, USA and Australia. High-five.
Welcome to the Sky Magazine coverage of the World Under-23 Ultimate Championships. I'm Liam Grant, accompanied by Benjamin Rees. We're here at the mixed final, Australia taking on USA. Benjamin, tell us a little about what we have in store for us.
Thanks, Liam. Very excited to be here. Yeah, it should be an interesting game. These two sides met in the power pool in a really exciting game. Both teams looking to stretch the field deep quite a lot. Made for some really exciting, expansive ultimate. Australia perhaps a bit of a surprise finalist here after they beat Canada in a sudden death thriller yesterday. We'll see if they can carry that momentum into today's game and take another upset if they beat the USA.
Yeah, that was a cracking game, Benjamin. Probably our best dream game so far. Huge upset. The Canadians unlucky to lose that one. Two top sides. But yeah, let's see if the Aussies can pull this one out of the bag.
Yeah, often they say that it's tough to beat the same team twice in the same tournament. We saw that yesterday in one of the women's semi-finals when Japan reversed an earlier result against Canada to make the women's final here. The Australians will be hoping to do the same thing and reversing the scoreline, which was a 17-10 scoreline in USA's favour when they met in the power pool matchup.
Yeah, USA a powerhouse in this mixed division. Unfortunately, we haven't streamed them yet, and maybe just because they were stomping every team in their path. I didn't know if we wanted to show that because they're so strong. The likes of Eli Kearns, Simon Higgins coming out of Revolver, just two fantastic players.
Yeah, the roster, it's a roster which, talking to their coach on the sideline, was described as solid and deep all round. There are, of course, some standout players. You've already mentioned Simon Higgins and Eli Kearns, both of San Francisco's Revolver already. As well as their ranks, they've got John Nethercutt, who won, of course, the Callahan Award in the States for UNC Darkside, and he's a big player on their club team Ring of Fire as well. Watch out for his flick huck. It's an absolute monster.
Yeah, we're looking out for that one, all right. Yeah, sometimes this USA team may be struggling to get motivated. I think they went 5-3 down against Japan yesterday and then pulled up their socks and pushed forward with that game. They've had a few performances where maybe they could have done a little better. Still winning the games, but finding it hard to stay motivated against some weaker squads. Yeah,
they played Great Britain in the original pool games, and Great Britain were actually able to take half 9-8 on the States, but they pulled out and made some excellent adjustments in the second half, and they ran away with it in the end. And the British team weren't able to actually get on the scoreboard in the second half as the US ran out 17-9 winners in the end. But showing there that when they get their heads together and when they're motivated, they're absolutely incredibly difficult to beat.
Yeah, one of the best mixed squads ever assembled. These guys and girls would do pretty well in the open division, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. I think if the USA were to take this team to the senior championships next year, held at the same venue in London, we'd probably see them do pretty well there as well, I reckon.
Eli Kearns now at the disc, likely to pull. The epicenter of this USA D-line. We see Leah Faris, Khalif El Salam as well. For the Aussies, Tim Copland, Dom Simpson, two players that should run the show for this Aussie offense. And they catch the pull. And it's straight to Limo in the center of the field to Simpson. Looking deep straight away. Aussie send it. This one hanging in the air. Leah Faris on it. Oh, and a great D by Leah Faris. Good pressure on the males. Streaking deep on Highway 1 there. Helping out her male teammates.
Yeah, well, we were talking before the deep game, and we've seen it before the game, that, yeah, the Australians do like to play that expansive style and put it deep quite a lot. But great defence by Leah Faris, spotted it early, got in position, and the Australian receiver not able to make play. Great positioning there by the US defender.
Khalif El Salam now at the disc. The Kearns. To Greenwood. Swinging through the males there, puts it into space. Robot, back to Kearns, looking deep, sends it. This one hanging in the air. Salam wondering, leaving it to the lady. But oh, nobody gets it. Being a bit courteous there, I think.
Yeah, kind of looking like maybe he's feeling a bit sheepish if he was going to steal that score, but in the end, one of you's got to put a name on it there. And the Australians strike deep straight away, but it's well defensed by number 20, Sam Greenwood.
A spicy start to this game. Hawk after hawk. The fans are loving it anyway.
Yeah, the crowd clearly getting really into this. If we've got a game that's going to be as open as it has been already, we're in for a real treat here.
Yeah. Will the US calm down their offense now? Erickson there. To Lynn. Greenwood. Back to Kearns. Downfield getting a bit static now. Robot with the disc. Oh, and a bit of a clanger there from Robot.
Yeah, just a simple throwaway. Sometimes the easiest throws are the most difficult ones. Maybe a bit of nerves coming in there. Big final, first point, big crowd cheering you on. Perhaps just not quite taking a time over that throw. Bit of wind that might have pushed it down, but she'll be disappointed to have turfed that disc there.
Limo now to Copland. This man has some cannons. Great defensive pressure by the US. The Aussies is happy to oscillate one cutter. Not too much movement downfield from this first stack. Back to this speedy Limo, who wants to send it. Oh, and Khalif El Salam poaching off the back of that end zone and does well to read it. Great supportive defense there by the US.
Yeah, the Aussies always looking to have that deep shot. El Salam peeled off the back well, saw that another man was going deep, wasn't his mark, but peeled off really nicely, got in position nice and early, and the Australian offensive players had no chance at that disc really, and El Salam will bring it in on the goal line here.
Both teams looking absolutely bamboozled right now. Haven't got their heads in the game, so uncharacteristic.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on. Both teams have played some really high-quality ultimate throughout the tournament. I think we'll put it down to finals day nerves. Hopefully this will probably calm itself out by the end of the match.
Yeah, a lot of turns in this first point. Nice play by the Aussies. Lehman Copland, and a tasty inside break that doesn't come off.
Yeah, quite ambitious with that throw. Not a lot of movement downfield for Australia, looking pretty static. But they were, and it showed there, had to try and force the throw, maybe not quite there. And the Americans moving the disc quickly now with a chance to break.
Salam with the dish to Robot. Nice backhand to Kearns. Oh, and sends it up again. Greenwood under this, has a good position. Oh, and a goal, USA!
Yeah, it was a great bid by the defensive player. It's number 32 for Australia, Lachlan Murphy, but he wasn't able to get it. Greenwood got up early, positioned himself. The defender would have had to come around the offensive player to make the play, wasn't able to do it. Great offensive positioning there, and a nice find there by Eli Kearns. He had a swing available, but he backed his receiver to make the play on the wonderful inside-out flick for the goal.
USA winning that first point. Maybe both teams deserving to lose it, I think.
Yeah, not the best. Definitely not the best we've seen both teams play so far. The Americans, however, it wasn't easy for them. They'll be happy to get the opening break on the board. Australia will have to put their heads down, calm themselves down a bit, collect themselves, and put in a hold here to stop the Americans running away with it at the start.
Yeah, the US slowly dragging that ship into port there. They come out on D again, so that is a break for the Americans.
Yeah, a lot of times we've seen matches go with serve early on as both teams try and figure out what the others are doing, but here both teams not looking very sharp early on, really kind of not quite with their heads in the game it seems, and it's proved to pay dividends for the Americans in the end. They were finally able to calm down, and patience prevailed there as they worked it up the field before a really good find from Kearns for the goal.
Nathan White with the pull there. Callum catching that one. Had a drop pull 2 days ago, but still confident in his abilities. To Will. Across the field to Shepherd. We see the Aussies often just playing through their males. But not this girl, Kat O'Neill, a star of the team. Great swinging of the disc there to Ash. Trying to tread the needle and does so. Deep shots there. Shepherd looks it off. Nice little dump cut by Will there. Looking to the break side. Callum gathers this one. Oh, and a beautiful pass. Oh, a cheeky high one. It doesn't come off. Poor execution by Ash. They were so solid up the field there, Australia.
Yeah, we've seen it happen other times in this tournament. Teams get end zone eyes. You're right on the goal line, especially if you're a breakdown early. You really want to punch it in. Maybe you rush a throw that's not quite there. He had the player, but had to kind of rush the throw. Execution didn't quite come off. Pretty brave there by Callum Howarth catching the pull. You mentioned he dropped one earlier in the tournament. That one actually in sudden death against Great Britain. The Brits able to take that game in the end. And it didn't matter, though, in the end. The Australians came through on a three-way tie and then made their way to the final. Howarth showing no fear, backing himself that he's going to catch that ball and get their offence moving quickly, which they did so there.
Yeah, Callum catching a Callahan in yesterday's semi-final, so redeemed himself, and a really great player. Oh, and a slip-up by the US, gifting it back to the Australians.
Yeah, just an overthrow from Ogun on a simple swing pass. Again, we're going to put it down to nerves, I reckon. Just teams not quite with their heads in the game. Australia have to punch this in here, right on the goal line.
Willie Norton on the disc. Oh, and a buttery back into space. And gather it up by the Aussies. 1-1 here.
What a beautiful play by the receiver, laying out full extension to make that grab. The throw had just enough touch to hang in the air. There was another Aussie receiver in the area, but in the end they were able to come down with it for a crucial hold. It's 1-1 now. Australians will be happy to have the momentum there, especially to get the disc back after they turned it over in the end zone.
Didn't actually see the number of that scorer. I think Tom Stiles announcing now. Yeah, I would have bet my buttery biscuits on Rachel Parsons getting that one. She had a stormer yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. Rachel Parsons in the number 8 shirt. She's been fantastic all tournament. Been really kind of good helping to work the disc up for the Australians when they do choose to play the small ball style and not just bang it deep as they are prone to do. But and paying dividends there. This is why you put out a strong O-line, because you know that if a disc does go all right, they're going to be able to make the play to save you the disc there.
We saw the Aussies going for a zone look a lot yesterday. This is their first D point. Who knows, they might whip it out now.
Yeah, well, I've seen quite a few teams go zone in this tournament, trying to clog lots of lanes downfield and force them to swing between the handlers. It's been a bit blustery at times this tournament. There's a bit of wind around the stadium today. It wouldn't surprise me if the Aussies did come down in that zone look here, like you mentioned.
Sheena take home now with the disc. To Timothy Fergus. Back to Sheena. Lane with the big crossfield pass. That's how you get around this Aussie zone. Khalifa, a little give go. Back to Fergus. And the Aussies transition to man. Sheena Titcombe advancing it up the field. Oh, and a goal by the unnumbered player.
Yeah, that's actually Nils Clausen. He's wearing a shirt that says staff on it. Normally he'd be wearing the number 9, but good patience from the Americans to navigate that Aussie zone. We saw them play little pop passes into the cut before Nethercutt really cracked it open with a big hammer across the field. Receiver had plenty of time and lots of space to set himself, make the catch, and then they just ran the disc up the field. And the Australians, despite the fact they transitioned to a one-on-one defense, weren't able to stop the Americans there.
Yeah, wearing the staff jersey and taking care of business.
Absolutely, yeah. Great play by him there. Just taking your time, making sure that your hands are in the right place. We've seen a couple of teams yesterday against zones have kind of overthink these catches, but he trusted himself, knew that actually he had time to just set himself, make a simple catch, and then nice work with Khalif Al-Salam, play the give go down the sideline, and then once the Aussies did transition, they moved the disc quickly before the Aussies could really get set and catch their breath. And the Americans putting in a relatively comfortable hold there on serve.
We see Eli Kearns again with the pull. Some of the US team not quite ready for that one. A little slow in the chase down. Callum again, confident under that bladey pull. To Ash. To Will, really using the whole field here, the Aussies. And fakes that deep option. A nice buttery backhand to the break side. To Shepherd, holstering that hook. And if Spotter Botter now has to send it right around to absolutely no one. Great downfield defense by the US.
Absolutely, the Australians looking for a deep shot. Didn't get one. The disc was trapped on the sideline there. Didn't really have any good undercuts to throw the disc to. And the US get a bit fortunate as well with a nice roll off the turnover. But great defense as well by the Australian, coming over the top. The number 1 of Alex Shepherd to make the play.
Yeah, Leah Faris had burned her mark there, but one of the lads poaching off and just getting up and over her.
Yeah, Leah Faris is actually leading the United States mixed team in goals so far this tournament. She's got 15 already so far this week.
Yeah, fantastic athlete. Also the cover girl of the schedule and info book we've been given here at London. Oh, and Parsons just unable to get there. We see Aussies always going for that deep look.
Absolutely. Kearns fell over and slipped on the mark. It gave the handler loads of space to make that throw. It looked like it was going to hang, but it just died at the last second. Receiver not able to get a bid on it. The US will get a chance here to go 2 points up.
Jimmy now to the other Eli. Faris with the frosty flick there. Kearns now looking deep. The two girls going. This one a bit zippy. Oh, and a poor execution there by Kearns, tapping his chest. Taking the heat for that one.
Yeah, an absolute laser of a flick. He did have two receivers open deep, but wasn't able to quite put enough touch on it. And as it is, the disc just sails to the ground in the back of the end zone. Bit of a waste there for the US. Again, their offense hasn't quite looked on the same page after the turnovers. When they were on offense, able to hold pretty cleanly, but on D-line, their offense not quite on the same page so far. They'll have to clean this up if they want to win this game here.
Yeah, a difference in the turns there. US generating turns off this Aussie team by a lot of pressure. Oh, and Ash just coming up with that one out of nowhere. Lucky play by Aussies. Will now sending it deep. And the US is so aware of those deep options.
Yeah, Australians looking to put it deep at every opportunity. Got a bit fortuitous with that blade right into the stack. Some might say it was visionary. I'll go with a bit lucky. But the US striking really quickly here after the turnover. Nice dish to Kearns.
Kearns looking to hit Lisa in the end zone, and he does. The Californian combination there. Great goal from US. Tasty little flick.
Yeah, nice little high release inside to find Lisa Picathely in the end zone. She's been a standout player for years for UCSB's Burning Skirts and for San Francisco's club team Fury. She was huge when these two teams played in the power pool. She had one excellent point where she got a massive layup block and then made a huge sky to save possession as well. If she continues to make good plays like that, the US will have a pretty nice time of it, I reckon.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Aussies need to adjust their offense here. Playing this vert stack and a lot of poaching coming from the US team, stopping their deep options, and the Aussies have no answer.
Absolutely. Zora played really good defense, heads up, knew that the Australians really wanted to put it deep, peeled off the back of the stack, mopped up deep, and then got the disc moving quickly as well. You see people say catch your Ds. That's part of the reason why, so that if you do, the defense isn't set, you can get going quickly, and the US were basically on the goal line before the Australians even had a chance to catch their breath there.
Simon Higgins now lining up to take this pull. The monster man from Revolver in San Francisco. Pull goes up. Bobbling in the air. Burkott picking up this one. The American import to Willie. I should have said Lehman jacks it deep. And the pace of this man, number 4, leaving Nethercutt in the dust.
Wow. What foot speed from Patrick Keating. You don't see a Callahan winner get burned deep very often, but that's exactly what just happened there. Nethercutt completely left in the dust. When the Australian Huck game comes off, it's absolutely beautiful. A really pinpoint throw there. Be interesting to see if they can take that momentum, use it, maybe set up a defense that'll fox the Americans and get back and bring this game a bit closer. But a lovely, beautiful throw there. Just the receiver with so much easy gas to run it down with plenty of time to spare.
Yeah, Liam Grimmond always looking to pelt it deep. As soon as he gets that disc, he got eyes for the end zone. He's already winding up, and for the last few days, he's been hitting them.
Well, when you can throw it like that, why would you even bother throwing it under? Just throw it deep all the time.
Didn't see too much of Keating yesterday, but showing phenomenal speed there. And I would have thought the US would have had them for athleticism, but the Aussie boys well able to show their stuff.
Absolutely, just so rapid along the ground there. When the disc went up, it looked like it was going to be a 50-50, but in the end, put out right in front of the receiver. And like I say, Nethercutt completely left behind. What a great throw by the Australians. It's lovely to watch.
Callum now to pull. This one a little short. Fergus picking this one up. Aussie's setting up in zone. She now with a cheeky pass there. Oh, it's floating and a great grab. Oh, and I think she's dropped it. Yes, she has.
Yeah, couldn't quite make the play. They just hung up under her a bit, over her even. It's the worst position to be trying to catch a pass, right underneath it. Difficult to make it. It looked like she'd able to catch it, but in the end wasn't quite able to. Just fell out of her fingertips.
Ash on the disc. Aussies with their chance to break here. A little shuffling there from Will, and he sends up a flingy, blady flick. And oh, Callum just getting that one up. Looked like he was straddling line, he was. Some more Aussie luck there. Callum in a spotter sends the hammer. Oh, and that one's a doozy.
Yeah, he had a wide open dump option there, but never look back to see if there was anyone behind him. Sometimes when you get a play like that right on the end zone, you get the adrenaline rush and think, oh, actually, I've made a pretty good grab here. If I can put this in, this will be huge for us. But just overthrow, hammer way too blady, didn't sit at all, went out the back of the end zone, didn't give the receiver a chance at all. As we see the Aussies come back in this zone look on defense.
And US having no trouble breaking that straight off to Sheena Titcombe now. Splitting the gap to Emmy. Sheena.
Yeah, Sheena Titcombe, I was told before the game if the Blue Bottles did come out in a zone look here, she'd be the one threading passes through the cup, absolutely shredding it. And it looks like this is going to be what's happening right now. The Americans not really having much trouble as the Australians look to transition into one-on-one matchup look here.
Sheena again, the big backhand to Emmy, the Santa Cruz girl. Looking for Sheena again. The big breaks on, hits Sheena Titcombe. And hits that end zone to Timothy Fergus. Sheena Titcombe reminded me of Sarah Connors there. So bold, boisterous, and has that 100-mile stare that could just instantaneously take down some cyborgs.
Absolutely, she's been showing people for years that she can be an absolute machine on the disc, and I think it's pretty appropriate that it's the machine player Tim Fergus catching the goal there.
Yeah, I emailed Timothy Fergus not too long ago when I was over in Chicago. I was looking for a Frisbee team to pick up with a potlatch, and Timothy and Exon, some machine lads, sorted me out and had a great time. So it was nice to get to meet him in person.
Absolutely, and of course, X10's sister, Sheena, providing the assist for the goal there.
Yeah, Sheena is just ruthless on the disc. Fantastic player.
Medal match in the women's division. Canada defeat Australia 13-12.
We hear Tom Stiles over the stadium broadcast about the women's bronze medal, where Canada win a nail-biter in sudden death over the Australian Stingray side, 13-12. It's got to be a heartbreaker for the Australians here. Hopefully the mixed team can keep their heads up and that won't affect them at all.
Kearns again with the pull. Launching that one up. Let's see how it hangs. Hanging beautifully. Whoa, and a massive layout by the only other Eli. Aussie's looking deep straight away. Oh, and too much butter on that one.
Yeah, just overthrew the receiver. We've seen how rapid he is, so it's pretty tempting to put that disc up. But maybe just a bit panic. I think it's actually the number 5 shirt of the little guy, Elliot Eriksson. I say little, he's still taller than I am, but for a little guy, he can get huge, as we've just demonstrated there. He's been a big player for a couple of years for a University of Georgia program and for their club team, Chain Lightning.
Simon Higgins, as safe as a house under this one. Puts it straight into the end zone. Beautiful stuff there by the Americans. Magnificent.
Yeah, Sarah Maxtroff, so casual catching that goal. Just like it was just some friends throwing in the park. Not a huge final on a world stage being streamed worldwide. Absolutely fantastic confidence there from the Americans. Great throw to unlock it. I think it's a Mossica with a fantastic deep, but Simon Higgins ripping it out of the sky and putting a perfect throw for Sarah Maxtroff in the end zone. So calm and easy for the Americans. Their D-line offense has been a bit stagnant at times, but that was absolutely
pure quality there by the US team. That's the kind of offense we expected in this game, and finally delivering there.
Absolutely. We've seen when the US gets their heads in the game and they turn it on, they can be almost unstoppable. And at that point there, they certainly looked it. Huge layout from Elliot Eriksson to energize the team, forced the Australians to take that deep block perhaps slightly earlier than they wanted to, and my word, did the Americans pounce on that.
Lovely day here in London. The sun is shining upon us. Everyone has their sun cream on in the grandstand. A lot less blustery than it has been over this week, so best conditions today.
Yeah, easily the best conditions of the tournament. You say everyone's got their sun cream on. I haven't, so I'm going to regret that later. But yeah, not so much of a wind. There is a slight wind blowing from the end zone that the Americans are pulling from now as Greenwood puts a big backhand up.
Callum again catching every pull. He doesn't make the same mistake twice, folks. Ash with a juicy break there. Callum again. Nice swing here over to Shepherd. Ash again. So rarely using the women. There it is. That peachy hook to the end zone. Alex under it. Some boxing out by the girls there. Good play by the US defense, Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa Picathely drawing the Australian offensive player to make a bit perhaps earlier than he would have liked to. And Zora doing very well to pick up the trash at the end.
Nathan White putting out the space. This one's anyone's disc. Will picking it up. Parsons there, back to Will. Looking for Parsons again in the end zone. And there's a call in the field.
Yeah, I think possibly a pick. Yep, the game advisors flexing their muscles there on the sideline. They're showing the signal for a pick. Two players colliding in the stack. Defensive player not able to catch up with their marker. Everything looks like it's been reset, and the still's going to come in on one.
Will again. Eyes for that end zone and just short. Callum. The US doing well to contain. Oh, Callum in the spotted ball and a great D. You saw that one cupping.
Yeah, Simon Greenwood playing fantastic, Sam Greenwood even playing fantastic handler defense, sticking really tight on his mark. And as it is, able to get big, get the hand block in there. And he's got the disc now. Is he going to look deep to Zura? No, it's Picathely, it looks like.
That one ballooning in the air for Lisa, but confident under it. And sends a buttery backhand to Jimmy, getting the score.
Jimmy Zora, take a bow. Fantastic bookends. Or not quite bookends, in fact, because they did turn the disc over again even. But really nice, getting deep there. We've seen him doing lots of throwing, staying at the back, but he went deep there and a fantastic, really smooth backhand right the way across the end zone from Lisa Picathely. Jimmy Zura, plenty of time to set himself. Simple clap catch for the goal. Australians reeling a bit here. They've taken a timeout. I think I like this call. Take yourselves time, set your heads. Let's stop the US momentum building. Take a breath. And then get out there and put in a comfortable low point, theoretically.
Yeah, the lads and lassies from down under finding themselves in a bit of a hole. Do they have what it takes to dig themselves out of this one?
If they play like we've seen them play at their best, then absolutely they do. We've already seen them put a fantastic deep shot up. If they can put more of those, if they can play more like that, they'll be fine. But they've had a bit of trouble trying to get the unders. Looks like the Americans very aware of their Australian expansive style, trying to force them to grind the disc underneath, and the Australians haven't quite shown the required patience to be able to do that so far.
I think this is a good timeout call by the Australians. Really need to settle this ship. You see them shouting blue bottles, which is their spirit animal of this team. Blue bottle actually a jellyfish, not a fly as some of you might have thought.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple of the players on the sidelines earlier in the week. We were like, well, this seems a strange nickname. The women are the stingrays, the men are the open team are goannas, which I think is a kind of lizard. So blue bottle seemed a bit weak, and they were like, over in Australia, it's a massive jellyfish. And they were like, oh, that makes a bit more sense now. I can kind of see where you're coming from. Let's hope the Americans don't get stung by this blue bottles team later on.
Nicely done, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Collective term for jellyfish is smack. So you often hear them shouting smack, 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 and that's referring to a group of jellyfish.
Yeah, it's an excellent pronoun, definitely, a smack of jellyfish. One of my favourite, up there with Parliament of Owls, which is another excellent one.
You can have a muster of peacocks.
I did not know that. That is good to know.
Yeah, if you ever have neighbours who own peacocks, you learn that one quick, and you also learn that you won't sleep at night. They make a strange noise, peacocks.
Yeah,
back to the game anyway.
Anyway.
It's number 34, Timmy. Oh, and a drop there. Uncharacteristic for Dom Simpson.
Yeah, went with one hand, tried to be really casual about it. Maybe should have just taken the time. When you're this far down, you've got to be safe with everything. Had time to put two hands, but wasn't able to. US looking for another break here.
Mike Ogren parked outside the end zone, looking across the field, sending it to Kearns, stretching again. And a zone look. Oh, and what a save there by Ogren. I thought that one was going down.
How on earth did he rescue that? What an incredible play by Ogren, and a fantastic find for the goal.
Henry Fan with that frosty flick, cutting through the air. The Aussies just had to stand and watch that one.
My word. Sometimes all you can do is stand back and say, what an incredible throw. And it's a great find. It's the numberless and nameless shirt of Niels Clausen there, just standing right at the front corner of the end zone, but a fantastic find from Henry Fan. Just so silky smooth on that inside-out forehand to find Clausen. The Americans showing the patience that the Blue Bottle side haven't been able to demonstrate near the end. Happy to thread it through and rescue it. They got a bit lucky with a fantastic play from Michael Ogren. How on earth he rescued that disc, I will never know, but got full extension, got his hand under it, kept it up, and then just moved the disc, kept it calm, and excellent find from Fan for the goal.
Yeah, the Aussies find themselves in a spot of bother now. Unfortunate for them, because I think they have the talent to take this game to the US, but just aren't firing at all cylinders now.
Japan 13, Great Britain 12. Japan win bronze medal.
Bit of a disappointed noise in the crowd as Tom Stiles reveals over the stadium announcing that Japan have beaten Great Britain in the bronze medal match. Another sudden death game, 13-12. Heartbreaking for the Brits, but fourth is still a very great performance for them, and well done on Japan on winning that bronze medal.
Yeah, GB have been fantastic. So Dorman disc goes up, Will Norton to Shepherd, Salam in chase, and gets huge! What a grab!
That is absolutely monstrous from El Salam. That is huge. I'm almost lost for words by how good it is, but it looks like the throw is going to go back. I don't know if there's a foul call or a travel, but something's been called on the mark, it seems. Not quite sure what's been going on there.
Salam plucking that one out of the clouds. Absolutely phenomenal. Oh, and a drop there from the Aussies. Rachel Parsons, uncharacteristic again.
Yeah, the throw just a bit low there. Perhaps after seeing that, after that big hut get D'd, perhaps a bit hesitant with the throw, didn't quite execute it.
Oh, Mex there with a feathery flick to no one. She won't be happy with that.
Yeah, perhaps a bit over-ambitious. But then when you're 7-2 up and you're playing with confidence, you're going to try those things, and sometimes they come off. That time it, unfortunately, did not for the Americans.
Limo now at the disc. Hitting number one, back to Limo. On a space for Dom Simpson, fakes it. Holstering the Hawks. And she can send them, lads. Oh, disc loose in the air. And a great grab by Alex Shepherd. A bit of luck for the Aussies there. Kath O'Neill. Oh, and a great D. Simon Higgins. Orgasmic stuff there.
That is incredible. The Australians had a throw, which they perhaps shouldn't have come down with, were able to, but Simon Higgins saying that they're not going to be able to score here. And oh my God, another huge sky from Khalif El Salam. That is ridiculous.
Khalif El Salam.
Absolutely ridiculous. His biorhythms now oscillating at a frequency we just can't understand right now. Khalif El Salam show.
That is, he and Higgins just both came up absolutely huge on that point. Massive blocks, great throw there, but El Salam needed to make a play, and by God did he make a play. That is absolutely massive. Getting above two Australian players to make a really, really tough grab. What a fantastic play from El Salam. The Australians really on the back foot now. If they can't find something soon, this is going to be over in a flash.
Yeah, we see some sideline support there from the US. Sheena and Leah's mothers starting an old USA chant. A nice slithery S from the two women. Looking in control of this game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the Australians can slither their way out of this one. If they're going to do it, they're going to need to be a bit more patient on offense. Just take the time, set themselves, really put touch on those throws, make sure they're 100% passes, and then on defense, they're going to have to slow and find a different look, because that zone they've played so far has not really slowed down the Americans at all.
Yeah, the primary handlers of Sheena Titcombe and Nethercutt cutting that zone up so easily. Burkott catching the disc. Burkott didn't attend trials, he just sent a highlight video on a turn. And it goes straight to the end zone. Eli Kearns, a little rush to the Americans. I think the US have such a large squad of 27. You know, they're often not playing for 3-4 points. When they get to this, they want to do something magic. They want to be the one to score. And rushing it a little there.
Yeah, the 27 shirt of Eli Kearns looking for his former Davis and current Revolver teammate Nathan White, but not able to put enough touch on the throw. And the Aussies have to hold here if they want to come back in this game.
Yeah, Burkott with the disc, as I was saying. The US import sent in a highlight video to the coaches, couldn't attend the trials. Apparently quite a humorous one as well. And it was a good find by the Aussie team.
Yeah, very enterprising from him. I really like that. He's been making some pretty enterprising throws here, trying to crack that Aussie defense, but they just haven't been able to just move it patiently around the back. So many swings have been over or underthrown. I wonder if this is finals day nerves or something's just not right here with the Australians.
Let's see what Nethercutt can do here. To White. Nice swinging on here, and just swing, swing, swing. What a goal by the US.
Yeah, Elliot Eriksson can make massive plays, but he didn't need to there. Just simple, had time, clap catch it for the goal. And all of a sudden, this game seems to have only just started, and already the Americans have taken half 9-2. This is not what we expected after the Australians played fantastically well to upset Canada in the semi-final yesterday. The States just seem to be running away with it here.
Score USA. The assist from Robot. The score from Elliot Eriksson. USA take half.
Yeah, maybe the Aussies are just a bit burnt out from yesterday's performance, having to give it their all and struggling to rise to the occasion here.
Yeah, you thought with the glorious conditions you've seen today, this would kind of suit the Australians. They're used to playing in pretty hot temperatures, but so far they look absolutely burnt out and dehydrated. They'll have to try and find themselves some way of getting themselves hyped up during this half-time if they want to come back in this one.
Yeah, Aussies not winning the game, but they want to win the grandstand here. Very theatrical sideline. The open team been hilarious all week. I've been staying near them. Lots of funny chants, bringing out the cricket bats as well, bringing us some Aussie culture.
Yeah, one of the things I've seen with all of the Australian teams is they tend to be pretty fun and loose on the sidelines. They're clearly here just to have fun and play some great ultimate. And we've seen like in the timeouts and half times, they've just behaved differently to other teams. Teams like the US and Canada, they've been warming up, warming down, throwing in between points. The Australians, however, seem to be playing a game of ninja on the pitch. That's a bit different, but if anything that's going to help you get your head back in the game, stay loose, keep your head up. Out of half time, we'll see how they do, as the Australian coach on the sidelines really trying to hype up the crowd and garner some crowd support of what is a crowd that currently seems to be going in favour of the Americans. Quite a big contingent making their way over from the States to support their team.
Yeah, the Americans bring their whole family, wife, children, granduncles, everyone but the dog seems to be here.
I don't know. I think the only reason you haven't seen the dogs is because there's no dogs allowed on site. I'm sure they would have brought them if they were allowed.
The Wolf Duff hierarchy now arriving at the field. Obviously had some important meetings to attend. Nothing to do with their few beers last night.
Obviously not. No, that would be highly unprofessional and not representative of the sport in any way. Looks like the Australian coach being pretty successful in getting the crowd going here. is being huge. Trying to get the crowd into it. Trying to spearhead a comeback here for the Blue Bottle side.
Currently doing my least favorite chant of left side of the field, right side of the field.
Yeah, this chant usually a staple at Paganello finals, but interesting to see it being used in with a one-stand setup. I haven't seen it done that way before.
The middle of the grandstand just not performing today.
No, really below par performance from the middle of the stand, just unable to keep time. They just clearly haven't got their heads in the game. They're going to need to find something else in this halftime as well if they're going to come back in the second half and really show the left and right side of the stands who's boss.
A gargantuan performance so far by the left side of the stand, just really in unison. Obviously a bit of training went into this. Some great singers there.
Yeah, bear in mind, obviously, as you look at it from the camera, the left side is actually your right side. So hopefully that's not confusing you so much. But our left side of the camera, our left side of the stand is doing pretty well so far, it seems. Right side of the middle clearly lagging behind, but the middle seems to be making a spirited fight back here. A lot of waving going on in the crowd.
The whole Aussie team getting involved now. A competition between the grandstand and the teams here.
Yeah,
unusual spectacle.
Yeah, sorry, it looks like Lisa McCaithley's really trying to get involved with this as well. She's trying to spearhead the US, but the rest of the team not getting involved. Just happy to keep you up with some tennis balls, it looks like. I think we've been roundly defeated by the players on the pitch in this battle here. Disappointing performance from the stands.
Some great spirit here by the Blue Bottles. And the classic cliche of Aussie, Aussie, Aussie rings around the fields.
Oi, oi, oi. Yeah, I mean, 9-2 is a pretty big half-time deficit, but you wouldn't know that they were training by that much looking at their body language. They still seem, their heads are up, they seem active. They look like they're really enjoying being here, and regardless of whether they make this comeback or not, they look like that they're glad to be here and proud, and hopefully in the second half that can come through a bit more in their offense.
Yeah, the Aussies making the big trip over, so it's great that they're enjoying themselves. In Dublin last weekend for a warm-up event, Dublin's Golden Cup, coming fifth there, but obviously some really strong teams with senior teams will be competing in mixed UC. I think they might have lost out to the French team in the quarter-final. Yeah, so having a great time. They're a great laugh in Dublin. It was 4th of July weekend, so they're all wearing USA gear. Ironic now that it's they're facing off against the US.
Yeah, it doesn't always seem to be the way in the end, but maybe they can use some of that American spirit here. Maybe delve into that psyche, cast their minds back a week, and see if they can delve into that and see if they can crack the American secrets by getting into that Independence Day spirit.
Where's Will Smith when you need him?
Don't know. Should be here though. He's missed out on a great week of Ultimate.
Yeah, strange how the US have such a strong following here. When the Aussie mixed team Ellipsis were in the US Open final also last week, they had more support in the grandstand. Seattle mixed a bit of a strange one with support from their own nation. Even on 4th of July weekend, a lot of the grandstand there choosing to back the Aussies.
Yeah, everyone likes an underdog, I think. It was interesting to see Ellipsis become the first non-North American team to actually win a US Open event as they defeated Mixtape in the final. A couple of Mixtape players actually on the US squad today in Khalif El Salam and the number 28 shirt of Claire Revere.
Lovely facts there from Benji. You're with Sky Magazine here on our coverage of the World Under-23 Ultimate Championships. Liam Grant alongside Benjamin Rees. Benji just coming out of nowhere to become one of the commentators in Sky Magazine history. How did you end up getting involved, Benji?
Well, firstly, I don't think I'd go that far, but it's a pleasure to be alongside the coverage. It's just because throughout the week I've been just going around the grounds doing a lot of Twitter, kind of live tweeting from a lot of the games, mainly Great Britain, but a lot of the other games as well. And then Tom Styles, who we could doing the announcing in the stadium now and has been doing play-by-play throughout the tournament, along with you and David Price, who've been doing an excellent job. He approached me and said, "We think you'd be good. Would you like to do some colour commentary?" So I jumped at the chance and had a fantastic debut with Austria versus Japan Open on Thursday. What an incredible game that was!
Yeah, you looked on that one, Benji. I was feeling a bit raw after seeing that game. I would have loved to be commentating that Magic, but you did a fantastic job. We had a few blowouts in the start of the week, and it was getting tough to keep on motoring my mouth, but easy in these final rounds.
Yeah, when the quality of Ultimate's this high, it makes doing this job an absolute pleasure.
Can I hear some support for Australia?
US staying on offense. Timmy Fergus to Sheena Titcombe. Aussies in the zone again. Oh, Sheena, a low one. Gathered up by Nethercutt. Looking across the field. This man doesn't like to mess around and get straight down to business.
Yeah, big hammer to his UNC teammate, Jimmy Zura. And he has the disc now, swinging it across the field. US looking very fluent. This zone doesn't seem to be slowing them down at all. But they have got stagnated a bit here, trapped on the sideline.
Bit more solid from the Aussies there. Sheena Titcombe, big fake. Again. I'm sure she's faking it out at home as well, because I keep looking upfield when she gets on the disc. And another tasty scuba. The lads look like they're having fun there.
I think Tasty undersells it a bit. That's absolutely delicious, that one. What a throw. And these are difficult throws the US are making, but they're making them with such ease that makes them seem absolutely rudimentary.
Yeah, executing those difficult throws, but not really getting much yardage for it. Simon Higgins sauntering on the back there. Nethercutt on deep. Higgins now at the disc. Oh, this is the play US need. Oh, almost behind number 28. Claire Revere. Oh, and a tasty scuba to the back. Simon Higgins towing the line. Beautiful play. Sugar-coated scuba there.
That is a phenomenal throw. Just the vision to see that, see his receiver going deep, and the pinpoint accuracy, pin him in the back of the end zone, able to toe the line for a score. A lot of the time, the US looking like they were a bit stagnant at the back, but when they finally did make it through. Fantastic jailbreak-style offense to move it quickly, and Nethercutt with a fantastic, silky smooth scuba for the score to Simon Higgins. Big pull coming up from the US. the Aussies looking to put in their first offensive point after half-time here.
Limo on the disc. To Simpson. Bit better now for the Aussies. Going deep and a huge block. Yeah, that was a clean one. Hitting straight into his defender there. I don't know if he thought he was on the sideline or what, but straight into the big man in front of him.
Yeah, the block may have been clean, but I bet his arms after that. That looked really painful, but great work by Greenwood to make himself big on the mark and get a monster block there, as a pick is called in the stack downfield.
Henry Fan. The little Meister on the disc. Looking at the break side. Looking for Khalif. Nice little inside break. Setting up that easy score. Absolutely stunning.
Yeah, that's the advantage of having the vertical stack offense when you get to the end zone, is that if you can utilize that break side space, break the mark like Fan did there with that inside out, you can have a quick continuation before the defense gets set, and there's so much space on the break side that the score for Motica was absolutely simple and rudimentary. Australian coming out of half-time, not quite looking fluent either. They've got to try and work out what they were doing at the start of this game when they put the first couple of points in, try and get back to that. Big block by Greenwood to get the turn, but perhaps the Australians got to be patient, see if they can work it under more.
Big shout out to Tao Brown, who is having a viewing party in Australia. I hope you're getting loud for your Aussie team here, because they need all the support that they can get.
Absolutely, yeah. Shout out to everyone who's watching worldwide. Pretty sure it's quite late at night in Australia. There's the polar opposite in the US, pretty early in the morning over there. It's probably about 4 o'clock in the morning for anyone watching on the West Coast, perhaps people in San Francisco watching their teammates out there. So if you are watching, thanks for watching. Great dedication. Please get in contact. Hashtag WU23UC on Twitter. We'll try and get involved with some of your tweets later on.
Aussies again, oh no. Needing to come up with some answers. That one just landing at the back of the end zone. Great pull there. It'll be walked up to the front.
Yeah, great pull from Kearns. The pull going out the back wasn't touched, so the Australians will going to take it at the front of the end zone. Yeah.
Ash waltzing up to the line now. Rolling the disc in his finger. Setting up in his whole stack, very deep. Will with the cross across the field. Callum now, back to Will. Everyone's so deep and just lashing a sky ball there. Everyone under it, and a huge grab.
Yeah, Elliot Eriksson, we mentioned earlier how for a small guy he can get up big when he needs to, and he's demonstrated that right there. Nice sky for the block.
The Aussies is trying to play 50-50. Oh, and getting there. What a great D. Chasing that one down. 16, Drew. Not giving up yet.
No, clearly the Aussies still really want this. Nice D. Went deep, followed Kearns, was able to get in, disrupt the play. Kearns almost had a second shot at it, but we've had to react so fast, it made it a nigh on impossible grab. The Australians try and hold this 0 point here. Be interesting to see if they do go deep again. It's been pretty much their entire offense this game, or whether they show the patience to recycle it and keep working it up.
Yeah, some poor offense really from the Aussies. Just trying the sky ball approach, which isn't good percentages. Oh, and a miscommunication there. I think there's a call. Not sure if it affected the play. Retracted quickly there by Callum.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a bit of bumping on that dump, but decided in the end that it didn't really affect anything. No call. Nathan White pick up the disc here for the States.
Whitey looking straight to the break side and just hitting that one with ease. A well-oiled machine, this US team.
Oh, it looks like the score's not going to stand. I'm not sure what the call is here. Haven't seen any signal from the game advisors. Maybe saying the disc was down, perhaps? It looked like it stayed up to me. And yep, goal signaled by the advisors. Throw a bit of air bounce on it from Nathan White. Kearns followed it well, made a nice low grab. It's now 12-2 to the US. This has become a blowout in a hurry.
Yeah, I was fearing this might happen. The US just so strong.
Score USA.
Yeah, this is probably the best I've seen the United States play all tournament, and it's fitting that it's in the final, in the game where it matters most. They seem to have that extra gear which the other teams haven't had. The Australians, not even in first or second, they just seem to be stuck firmly in neutral at the moment, whereas the States racing away in fifth or even sixth gear.
Yeah, the Americans always in automatic, just cruising through the gears, no problem, clutching onto everything.
Yeah, whereas the Australians still going to try with an old-fashioned manual shift, just unable to get it going, just keep stalling it here.
Yeah, grinding their gears to a halt there.
Yeah, that's going to be a very unhappy engine room in there.
Right, that's enough of that for a little while.
I agree. That was a bit laborious at the end. We'll see Australians still yet to put a point on the board in this half. All of their offense seems to be entirely just putting it deep and hoping their receivers making a play. Not worked so far, though.
It's very flat defense out here by the Americans. Tom Simpson now looking to the end zone and, as always, sweeping up into back there.
Yeah, it's the nameless and numberless shirt of Nils Clausen. Read the play really quickly to intercept that disc.
Timmy Fergus now, deep options there, and he lashes it. A few lads under. Oh, and Matt. Great pressure there from the Aussie number 4. Patrick Keating, who's been having a good game so far. Liam to Simpson. Simpson trying it again. Oh, and Jimmy putting great pressure on the disc there.
Yeah, the Australian side putting it deep at every opportunity, but the Americans rise to it all the time, and it's just not coming off. And the Australians haven't really been able to adjust. They've got that deep look on in most of their other games, but here the Americans have really taken it away, and the Blue Bottlers don't look like they've got anything else at the moment.
Faris cutting downfield. Hitting Lisa. Holsters the hook. Great bid by the Aussies. Throwing their bodies on the line. She takes it a second time, looking for Faris. Can she get there? Laying out. Oh! Fingertips scraping the ring of that disc. Great bid by Faris there.
So close. Picture perfect layout by Faris. You can see why she's the goal leader if she's able to get free with such ease. But although she made the photographers happy, her team disappointed that she wasn't quite able to come down with that.
And as we speak, number 11, Smithy getting the goal there. One of the least experienced players in this Aussie team, but definitely one to watch for the future. Smithy forgetting to actually bring her jerseys to the field today and had to go borrow off one of the other Aussie teams.
Yeah, the young woman out of Adelaide making a fantastic deep cut there. Lisa Pickathley is usually a really good deep defender, but just wasn't able to make up the ground there. And nice footwork to show the presence of mind to jump in for the goal. And the Australians even finally on the board in the second half, but they still trail by 9 with a 12-3 deficit.
You feel one of those Hawks was bound to come off eventually for the Aussies. They definitely had a few clangers and howlers earlier, but that one looked pretty.
That was. This is what I talked about at the start of the game. When this Australian offense is working at its best, it's so beautiful to watch, putting up pinpoint hucks for rapid receivers to run down, as we've seen there and we saw at the start of the game. But they've looked for it all the time and haven't showed any variation at all. Be interesting to see if they can set something up out of this pool and see if they can punch something in from a short field.
Callum now to pull. Trying to get this Aussie steam train rolling.
Yeah, see him there with the odd sleeves running up for the pool.
That one's sitting up for Nethercutt. Hitting Robot. Again to China. Very patient in the zone.
Yeah, a bit of a different look. 4 relatively flat defenders up front, 2 in the middle, and then the number 18 shot of Callum Howarth lurking deep, trying to put off that shot from going up.
Nethercutt walking up the field. Gets that treading of the needle, and oh, turfs that one. Just too low there.
Yeah, slightly over-ambitious. Higgins was open, but not able to make a play. The disc down before he could get there. Australians moving relatively quickly up the field.
Relative to how they're usually moving, which is very, very slow. Ash with the disc. Eyes for the end zone. Oh, no. That has happened too often for the Aussies.
Yeah, just a miscommunication on the dump cut. Nethercutt not looking to give the Australians time to get anything set at all. Moving the disc quickly to Greenwood there.
Nethercutt again. These two O-line handlers just absolutely fantastic. And a great bid. Simon Higgins towing the line. Deadly play there.
Yeah, fantastic bid from number 14, Will Norton, player for Sydney's club side Colony, one of the best club sides in Australia, but not able to make the play there. Higgins towing the line at the front of the end zone. Nice throw from Titcombe. Talked about earlier how she can really shred through a defence, and she picked a perfect pass there, just out of touch for the Australians.
Yeah, Colony, one of the best club teams in the world. Usually end up in the finals of Aussie Nationals. Splitting their two teams evenly or mixing it up different years. Colony, pillage and plunder. But this year, heads of state coming up with the upset and actually beating one of the Colony teams in the final. I heard this year they actually split them kind of age, had a younger team, so that in the future they'll have chemistry and a kind of an older squad, and whatever happened didn't quite work out for Colony, but really the powerhouse of Aussie Ultimate.
Yeah, they had a pretty good performance last year as well at the World Club Ultimate Championships over in Lecco in Italy. I think they made the quarter-finals, if I'm not mistaken. Semi-finals, I'm being told. What a performance by them.
I think they might have made it to semis, then got hockeyed by Sockeye, if I remember correctly. Tweet at Sky Magazine if you want to clarify that one.
Yeah, big pull going up from Eli Kearns. He's been very solid. Most teams have struggled to pull in that direction, but Kearns not showing any problem there. Ooh, great bid.
Nemo again, lashing it. He has some buttery backends. El Salam, just a different kind of beast on the field.
That sort of verticality there should be illegal. Just how we got so high off the ground there is almost ridiculous. It looked like the receiver was in pretty good position to get that disc, but El Salam undercutting it, and a nice sky to get that block.
Yeah, that man has been outstanding. Here he's on the disc. A big fluffy flick around. Aussie's own looking good at the moment. The wind just picked up a tad. Salam to White across the field.
Yeah, the Americans pretty happy to just give and go and work it around, not taking a deep shot because if they're not happy with it downfield, and they're getting a lot of love by just popping it through that cup and swinging it out wide.
Tied on the sideline now, getting high in the stall count. Throws it over the top and just makes it over. Kearns now in some space. To White, to Kearns. Ooh, great hands by Kearns there. Salam. To Fan. To Kearns. Smooth and silky now.
Yeah, just most of these passes aren't going more than 5, maybe 10 yards, and most of them going laterally, but the State's happy to just dink and dunk all the way up the field, play that familiar small ball style that we've seen a lot of teams play against zones this tournament.
Sarah Edwards doing really well there to find the gaps in behind the zone. The lads at the back just containing it and waiting for that option to get the gainer.
Yeah, you get the feeling that at one point one of those shots is going to go, and that is the one, and it is fantastically saved.
By Lane Zedor. The girl's doing so well upfield.
Yeah, great play by Cedar, who plays for Georgia's college team Dogma and the Atlanta club team Ozone. What a play that was by her to rescue that disc. I thought that was down for sure, but what a play.
Yeah, the woman from Dogma putting the fear of God into this Australian team with that amazing grab.
Absolutely, but after that, no rush of blood for the Americans. Just swing it around, work it, dink and dunk, give and go. Just so calm, just threading it through the cup there. It's Edwards that time, just finding a little love in just behind that cup.
Salam looking a little impatient there. I thought he was going to fling one to the end zone, but advised otherwise. To Kearns. Clocking up some passes here, the US team, to Fan. Oh, and a great D! Great stuff by Australia.
Yeah, Fan a bit careless, just underthrew it a bit, and this is the problem when you play like that, is that you make so many passes that if you can't work it in, it's so downheartening. And the Australians will probably look to get all that field position back at just the one big thing throughout the game.
Grimmond with a tasty throw there earlier. He's been playing phenomenally, a real athlete. Him and Salam is just a great matchup. They'd love to see Grimmond going deep, but you got to think they want to keep Salam out of that backfield. But he goes deep now. Is it coming? No. Great switch call there by Kearns. The US really implying that double coverage successfully.
Yeah, nice and pretty filthy inside-out high-release flicks there to get the disc moving, but fantastic heads-up defense to make the switch by the States, forcing the States to work it under, and the Australians drop the disc. And we're going to see the Americans go back to this little short pass style and try and get the break again.
Sarah to White. Across the field to Salam. To Sarah again. To Lane. Using all 7 players here, the US. Salam is casual as a cat there. He has such a pretty way of playing, this man.
Yeah, I wonder how many passes this is actually going to be in the end before they do finally score, but they seem to be in no rush whatsoever. And then bam, finally thread it through. That cup is so loose that the Americans just seem to be finding the gaps at will. And once they break through, it took time, but there was a wide open receiver for the goal.
Cam collective textbook offense there from US. This video will be available after the live stream for anyone to watch for free on YouTube. So if you ever want to coach your team on how to play against zone offense, that's what you show them, folks.
That's absolutely how you draw it up. There's a couple of ways of beating it. We've seen the US go one way and throw those big aerial hammers over the cup and scubas and be a bit creative with throws. That was different, just little short passes, working, making the cup move until they're a bit disconnected, finding those little passes they can thread the needle through, and then in the end, just simple, rudimentary score.
Timeout called here. The Aussies offer some Vegemite sandwich and water now.
Yeah, very important in this heat. The crowd seem to be loving the weather, but Tom Starr's over the mic reminding everyone to put on suntan lotion and get watered. Looks like the Australians are heeding his advice on the sideline there, just having a little water break, taking time to collect themselves and play some offense.
Still no sun cream for you though, Benji, yeah?
No, you've got to burn to turn, that's my advice.
I think you're stealing one of my catchphrases there, Benji. Yeah, working on your Peter Pan as we speak.
Good. I like that rhyming slang. Yeah, I had a really bad sweatband tan from my summer of Ultimate tournament, so hopefully trying to even that out a bit.
Gotta bust out the Cockney rhyming scheme when you can. We're in London, and the Aussies not looking to May West here.
That's good. Yeah, for someone who's actually born in Southeast London, my knowledge of Cockney rhyming slang is pretty bad, in all honesty. I would try to find some way to work it in naturally, but it's difficult. Can't really see the fields with people when people just keep going up and down the apples.
Apples and stairs, pears, my friend. Good stuff.
That is good. That is good. See, I shoehorned it in there a bit. It was a bit clumsy, but I got it in the end. Got it in the end.
Those of you out there on social media, I have my dog and bone out here. You can get me on at Sky Magazine. If you want any shout outs, what's going on, some advice on the play where you pronounce the names wrong, hit us up on the Twitter at Sky Magazine.
Yeah, you can use the hashtag as well. It's been going on throughout the tournament. Finally learned it. Shame it's finals day, but it's hashtag WU23UC, which is of course the initials for World Under-23 Ultimate Championships.
John Brandt wondering, is a buttery backhand better than a sugar-coated scuba? Hard to compare. You got to go with the scuba on that one, I'd say, John.
Yeah, always scubas, I think, generally. Unless thumbers. But apart from that, scubas.
Haven't got an alliteration lined up for the thumbers. Haven't seen any yet. I'll try and work one in case Nethercutt busts it out.
Yeah, he's throwing pretty much everything else in this game, so it wouldn't surprise me if we did see it at some point. Ooh, high catch off the pool, but safe hands to field it successfully.
Ash in the middle to Willie. Callum dishing it back to Willie again. To the sideline there. Drew. Ash. Pick called. So for those of you who don't know, a pick is an unintentional obstruction. When you have 7 athletes running around the field, occasionally they bump into each other. And no harm to any of the players there. Just the disc goes back and it's a bit of a redo.
Yeah, you see it quite often out of vertical sets. A lot of players in the same place. You're often going to get those collisions as a Australian flick just sails too far. They showed pretty good patience to grind out the unders before that point, but just taking a shot, not quite on the throw, not really there.
Yeah, that disc hanging in the air like a brick.
Yeah, not a great throw by the Australians. Just too many throwing errors. We've seen them put those throws with ease earlier in the tournament, but somehow today not quite working for them.
You see Emmy and Mex on the field there. Haven't seen too much of them this game. Oh, and maybe that's why she hasn't been firing on all cylinders today.
Yeah, really narrow lane to try and fire in that flick on the inside out, just behind the receiver Mosica, not able to come up with it.
Parsons now, one of the top female players in Australia.
Yeah, see her on the disc now. She's got a full range of throws, and we saw her with a big layout for a score earlier as a pick is called downfield. We've had a few of those in this game, not as many as in other games though. Oh, bit of a violation there. I think the Australian player moving before the disc gets checked back in. Looks like everyone is set now though.
Been a great spirit in this game. The players doing well to discuss things fast, and that's what we love to see. Callum now, that deep option there. Ash going deep and just clanging it into Eriksson, who sends it over, and it's a goal! What a break there by the US.
Yeah, Elliot Eriksson saw that coming all the way, doing a massive star jump on the mark to get the block, and then smooth, soft, roll curve, bladey, outside in backhand. Ogren able to jump, easily get in for the score. Just the States can make it look so easy at times, whereas Australians just toiling in the sun here.
The Australians telegraphing that pass, and the US always adjusting well to the obvious option and taking it away.
Yeah, the States definitely able to kind of hack these communication lines, get in there, try and work out what the Australians are doing, sometimes scenes before the Australians even know it. Just, they've been so dominant in this final. It's not the close matchup that I'd expected, in all honesty.
Yeah, 15-3 now, folks. Not the thriller of the semi-final we saw yesterday.
No, we've got to give credit to the Americans, though. Part of the reason it's not very close is because they've played so well, and apart from a bit of sloppiness early on, they've really tightened up and they've played fantastically throughout this game.
Simon Higgins with the pull. This one soaring through the air. Limo on the disc. Always just those little quick resets between the lads. Hitting Simpson. Looking for Limo, dusts his man. I think pick called
Yeah,
again.
another pick downfield. We've seen as the Australians moving disc a bit quicker than they have done so far this game. They've looked a bit stagnant at times, but the disc, wow, that's gone. That's big.
And buttery biscuits again from Liam Grimmond, whipping it out. Lovely stuff from that lad.
Yeah, nice spirit as well by Sam Greenwood. Shake the hand of the Australian receiver, Tom Emerson from Canberra with the goal. Nice. He saw the pressure was closed, defender was closing in behind him, but knew he had time. Simple, safe clap catch for the score. Australians back on the board, but still with a massive, massive margin to claw back here. 15-4 now the score.
I'm sure the Fishwick United in the Australian capital cheering on their boy there, having a great game.
Yeah, like we mentioned earlier, when this Australian offense works, it is beautiful to watch. But so far this game, they just have not looked on the same page, and the Americans just so set on taking away that deep shot that more often than not they've come down with those long shots.
Liam Grimmond has been firing some inch-perfect hooks all day. A great deep receiver himself, but just wants to get on that disc and fire some backhands.
Yeah, we have seen him go deep a couple of times and not been able to come up with scores. But it's really handy when you've got a player like him on your offense who can throw it deep, but also go deep himself. Makes him a really tough matchup for any defenders.
White now, pancaking that one. To Mudiker. To Kearns. With a cheeky scoober. Oh, and a great D. Hitting into Robot. A glitch in the matrix here. She doesn't look too good.
Yeah, a bit of a scary scuba there. Put too much air under it, and a bit of a collision there. Let's hope the robot's all right there. She looks. Hopefully, it's nothing major, but she does look in pain. Trainers and coaches coming on from the sidelines to check up on her.
Anna Robot Statter is her full name, but for the commentators, we go with Robot, as she's better known by her teammates. And I hope she's okay, folks.
Yeah, it's not a nice sight to see when that happens for anybody, but let's hope that she's okay here. It's not anything that anyone in this crowd wants to see, but the main thing is that she's okay.
Robot standing tall again. Going to sub off with an injury, but glad to see her walking off.
Yeah, walking off under her own power as well, not needing to be helped off. It's really great to see that she's hopefully not badly hurt at all.
Discussing what happened there. I don't think there was any call. Yeah, and the disc is live again.
Yep, Australia with a disc now, half field. If you're being honest with this, they should really see if they can punch in this break here.
And the lash should keep it again. Only Americans under this one. Never looking comfortable in the resets, the Aussies.
Yeah, that time was a clear idea. They wanted to get the disc moving quickly and swing it across the pitch. Americans marked out the under very well, and they were forced to put up that pretty risky blade, and it didn't come off in the end.
Cam casual again. Kearns faking the scooper. The Aussies buying it as well.
Yeah, sorry, the two Eli's here, one from Revolver, one from Ironside, just dinking and dunking it, give and going up the field.
Kearns again. Very quiet sideline for both teams. White dishing it out. The two Eli's working in unison. Beautiful fakes, finding the gap. Jimmy now with a chance to put it in, and he does.
Yeah, it's the number 4 shirt, It's Kristen Pajunas with the goal. I think that's her first goal of this game. But that was so calm and patient. There's a bit of an air of inevitability about that score. Just dumping and resetting it at the back, never letting the stalker get too high. We're able to slice that disc through the cup and then offload it for the goal.
USA now on game point.
16 game point to the USA.
Yeah, it looks like this one's going to be over pretty soon, unfortunately. Still time, though, for the Australians to make a bit of a spirited comeback and make the scoreline a bit more respectable.
This showcase field has been holding up fantastically all week. The groundskeepers, the TDs, everyone doing a stellar job on that one.
Yeah, it's a beautiful site here. It bodes really well for Worlds next year, this same site, roughly the same time of year, the World Ultimate and Guts Championships. If the fields are holding up this well now, then next year they should be in wonderful condition again, I imagine.
Fergus this time letting the disc fly. A low pull there. You can see why he's not the usual puller. Talimo. The Aussies coming up against a strange offense for the Americans. Very flat marks, very poachy. And turfing that disc. America now with the game in their hands.
Yeah, clear intent from the Americans on defense there to come up and look to clog the upfield passes first before they transition to going onto their one-on-one matchup. As a nice scooper from over and goes over the top to Fan.
Yeah, you can tell these boys want to end this game right now. Fan again. Around to Ogren. Oh, and a big hammer. Sugarcoat, and a great D by the Aussies. Like a thief of the night, coming out of nowhere to get that one.
Yeah, great range from Grimmond on that deep shot there. Coming quite a long way to make the play. Getting above the American receiver, utilising that height mismatch to go above and get the D. It's a huge hammer.
Oh, an attempt at towing the line. Difficult one there. And the Aussies made a decision themselves. No need for the game advisors there.
Yeah, great spirit to let her teammate know that or despite the effort, he was not in bounds.
We saw a little peppery lefty backhand there from Mike Ogren. That was tasty. Being a bit more patient now, the US. Who wants the glory? Who wants to try this? Getting high in the stall count now. Just dishing it out in time. Fan against Ogren. Use the whole field. Oh, and that's the goal. USA win Worlds Mixed Division, a masterclass of Ultimate.
Absolutely. I don't think you can play a more complete game than the Americans did there. They took away exactly what the Australians wanted on defense. Those deep shots, they were able to connect with a couple, but for the majority of the time, not successful for the visitors, for the Australians. The Americans, clinical on offense, just tough, aggressive, physical on defense, and the Australians had no answer in what is an all-around incredibly accomplished performance from the United States.
One down for USA, two more to go. Japan women's coming up next in a little while.
Yeah, after that we're going to have the open final where the United States take on Canada in a hotly anticipated matchup.
Yeah, I'm predicting a much closer battle in those two finals. The Canadians and Japanese well capable of taking down this US powerhouse.
Yeah, absolutely. We thought the Australians would give perhaps a closer game than happened in the end. But credit to the Australians, they kept with it, they kept fighting till the end, and they still put up. And when it worked, it was such pretty ultimate. But the majority of the time, the Americans just wise to it and just a complete class above the Australians today.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to watch this US team. I feel like I've gotten better of Ultimate just by watching them. Every way they throw, pivot, the decision making. just steps ahead of a lot of European Ultimate players. And great to have them here in London.
Yeah, absolutely. No sophomore slump for them in this game either, after they beat the Australians 17-10 earlier this tournament. An absolute demolition here. 17-4 the final scoreline.
Bit of a break now, so the grandstand rushing to the catering facilities. A few buttery biscuits for everyone, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All this talk about buttery biscuits made me really hungry. I think I'm going to go and nip off and get something to eat now as well.
So this has been Sky Magazine's coverage of the World Under-23 Ultimate Championships here in London. Thanks very much for everyone watching. Make sure to tune in for next two finals. Share it on Facebook. It's been fantastic here. I've been Liam Grant.
And I've been Benjamin Rees.